The station was quiet. Too quiet. Commander Alia Morgan stood alone in the control room of Argon 7. Lights flickered. The hum of machines pulsed softly in the background. Everything looked normal, but something felt wrong. She hadn't slept well. The message had come through during her night shift. Just a few beeps on an old system nobody used anymore. Earth Morse code. Strange. Almost nobody used it now, not even Earth's old navies. She had run the signal through every modern translator on the station. Nothing. Only when she remembered a file from her academy days, an ancient naval codec, did the message suddenly appear on her screen. Phantom Echo alive. Awaiting orders. Earth only. She froze. That call sign hadn't been seen in over 100 years. Fleet Phantom. The Ghost Fleet. Alia's heart thudded hard in her chest. Every Earth cadet had heard the rumors. It was humanity's first experimental war fleet. Built in secret, loaded with untested tech, and sent out during the expansion conflicts when Earth was still clawing for a place in the galaxy. Then, one day, it just disappeared. No wreckage. No signals. Just gone. The Council had called it a failed mission. Human error, they said. The official story claimed the fleet had overloaded during a hyperspace test and was lost forever. But this signal, this pulse in the dark, said otherwise. Alia reached for her console again and pinged the nearest human outpost for confirmation. No response. Just static. She tried Earth Central. A long delay. Then a soft crackle. Transmission disrupted. Stand by. It wasn't a no. But it wasn't yes either. She turned to her communications officer. But there was no one there. Of course. She was alone. The rest of the crew had rotated down to the surface lab yesterday. Only she remained topside for command duty. Standard procedure, they said. Keep one senior officer on the station at all times. Alia didn't like the silence. She stepped away from the console and walked the corridor to the observation deck. Through the wide glass window, she could see the black dwarf below, Viral's End. A cold, dead star with no light left to give. Just a heavy corpse hanging in space. No flares. No noise. Just gravity. Then she saw it. A light. Faint. Flickering. Far off beyond the dwarf star's horizon. She squinted. It was moving. Slowly. Like a patrol ship. But it was broadcasting no signal. And it didn't match any known registry. She tapped her badge. Station control to surface lab. Do you copy? Nothing. She tried again. Still nothing. Then the station lights dimmed. Every screen went dark. Only emergency lights stayed on, bathing the halls in red. Alia rushed back to the command deck. She grabbed a flashlight and scanned the main systems. Life support was still on. Power grid functional. But every scanner was off. Every communication system, too. All except one. The Morse system. She stared at it. The signal had changed. They are watching us. Do not respond openly. You are not alone. Alia took a step back. Whoever was sending these messages. They knew someone was listening. And more importantly, they were hiding from someone else. Suddenly, the station's proximity alarm blared. A red icon flashed on screen. An unknown vessel was approaching from the far side of Viral's End. It had no council markings. No Earth signal. No transponder at all. A ghost. Her heart pounded in her chest. Whatever that ship was, it had come from the dead side of the star. A place no signal should be able to pass through. Not without relay satellites. Not without boosters. And this one hadn't used any. She could only watch as the unknown vessel drifted closer. Slow, deliberate, silent. Like it was measuring her. Then the Morse system pinged one last time. Earth lied. The fleet never died. We are what the lights were still dim on Argon 7. Emergency red glowed through the halls. Commander Alia Morgan stood in front of the communication screen, heart still racing from the last message. Earth lied. The fleet never died. She didn't know what that meant. Not fully. But her gut told her one thing. Whatever was approaching wasn't ordinary. And it sure as hell wasn't friendly. The ghost ship was closer now. Still no ID. Still no comms. Just a slow drift toward the station. Then it stopped. Just a few 100 kilometers off the station's bow. It hung in the void, silent. The Morse channel clicked again. Awaiting authentication. Phrase key, Earthborn. Respond, or silence returns. Alia hesitated. She'd never been trained for this. None of her codes worked here. This wasn't a council alert or a standard Earth protocol. But something in her memory sparked. A phrase buried in an old textbook. A legend, maybe. The last thing spoken by the captain of the Ghost Fleet before they vanished. She typed slowly, Earthborn. Never bound. The console beeped. Then silence. She waited. The screen flickered. Then came a video transmission. It was grainy, static-filled. The image slowly came into view. A man, dressed in an old-style Earth naval uniform. Gray streaks in his beard. His voice was calm, low, and heavy with age. Commander Morgan, he said. If you're hearing this, it means they're finally listening. Or they're finally desperate. Alia blinked in shock. How do you know my name? I don't, the man replied. This is a pre-coded response. A time-triggered file meant to open when a human commander answers with the right key. She leaned in. You're seeing a message from Rear Admiral Mason Graves, commander of Earth's Fleet Phantom. The date is, well, if we're right, I've been gone 100 years. Gone. Not dead. We were sent beyond Council space with weapons Earth never admitted building. The man continued. They called us dangerous. They said we were reckless. But the truth is, we saw what the Council was becoming. Long before the rest of you did. A map appeared next to his face. Dots blinked, then went dark. They told us to stand down, to abandon our ships. They said peace mattered more than power. But we knew peace was just a leash. Alia swallowed. The man's eyes burned even through the static. We didn't vanish, he said. We hid. We waited. We built better. The video glitched. And then came the live feed. Alia gasped. Out of the darkness behind the silent ghost ship, more ships appeared. 1, 2, 5, then 20. Black ships. Sharp. Silent. No lights. No engines glowing. They shimmered like shadows. Like predators. Dozens of them. Fleet Phantom. Still alive. Fleet status. Operational. A new voice said over the station speaker. Commander Morgan, please confirm status of Earth Command. Are we under attack? Alia opened the mic. I don't know. The Council denied our request for help. They're mocking the signal. They think it's a joke. There was silence. Then a response. Then they've already chosen their side. One of the ghost ships broke formation and began moving toward Argon 7. We are uploading classified files to your station core, the voice said. Proof of Council sabotage. Black site operations. Civilian disappearances. Alia watched as her screens lit up with folder after folder. Documents. Audio logs. Star maps marked with red XS. What do you want from me? She asked. To warn Earth, the voice said. The Council knew we survived. They've been hiding it. But now the silence ends. Earth must choose. Bend the knee, or remember who they are. The ship outside came to a full stop, just within visual range. It was massive, twice the size of any standard Earth cruiser, covered in strange armor plating and rail systems that looked not entirely human anymore. What happened to you? She whispered. The voice didn't answer right away. Then, time changed us. Waiting changed us. The galaxy left us behind. But we never forgot Earth. We are what they feared, humans who refused to kneel. More signals flashed. From outposts, from satellites, from hidden colonies. Fleet Phantom wasn't just one group of ships. It was everywhere, hidden in the dark, watching, waiting. The last signal she received before the line cut out chilled her blood. If Earth calls us, we will burn the stars to protect her. Then silence. The ships vanished. No trails. No engine heat. Gone like they were never there. Alia sat down slowly. She was just one officer, one voice, but now she held the biggest secret in human history, and the key to something ancient, powerful, and angry. Earth had been warned. Now, she had to decide whether to pass that warning on. Because if the Council had always feared humanity's rage, they were about to remember why. The message from Commander Alia Morgan hit Earth like a thunderclap. She had barely finished sending it before a dozen officials from EarthGov were already arguing in a closed room. The footage of the Ghost Fleet, the ship designs, the transmission from Admiral Graves, it was undeniable. They were real. Ambassador Lyra Ortiz stood in the center of the Earth Council chamber, her arms crossed, watching the chaos unfold. She'd seen political messes before, but this was something else. "They've returned," she said. "After 100 years in the void. We asked them to die. They chose to wait. Some called it a miracle. Others called it a threat." One general stood up and slammed his hand on the table. "That fleet was built with weapons banned by the Galactic Council. If they fire even once, we'll be seen as the aggressors." Ortiz turned to him. "The Council already sees us as a threat. They just haven't pulled the trigger yet." The room fell quiet. Outside, people were already watching leaked clips of the fleet appearing outside Argon 7. The Ghost Fleet. Ships like shadows, rising from the black. Many called them heroes. Some called them ghosts. A few were afraid. Back at Argon 7, Alia paced her dark station alone. The Ghost Fleet had vanished again. They had delivered the warning. Now Earth had to decide. Then her terminal blinked. A direct message from EarthGov. "Stay in position. Do not make further contact. Await orders." Alia stared at the message for a long time. Then she shut the screen off. Down on Earth, Ambassador Ortiz walked quickly through the halls of EarthGov HQ to a secure chamber. Waiting inside was General Riker Chun, head of Earth's Defense Forces. He looked tired. "So," he said, nodding. "They're back." "You believed the stories," Ortiz said. "I was one of the officers who helped cover it up," he replied. "I signed papers that said they were dead, that they failed, that their ships were vaporized." He looked away. "They didn't fail," she said. "They built something stronger than we ever imagined." Chin nodded. "And now we need them. The Council, human military activity in forbidden space will not be tolerated. Failure to comply will result in swift and absolute correction. A threat, wrapped in law." Ortiz read it out loud in front of the chamber. The other council members listened in silence. "They're preparing a cleansing protocol," she said. "Just like what they did to the Nyari colonies. Only this time it will be us." Chun slammed his fist again. "We can't wait. We have to activate our fleet now. Not the ghosts, our fleet. The one we've been building in secret." Ortiz raised an eyebrow. "You mean the Silent Core?" He nodded. "Another secret. Dozens of ships hidden in the asteroid belt. Not as advanced as the Ghost Fleet, but powerful enough to defend Earth's borders. Meant to be revealed only in the worst-case scenario. We can't match the Council in numbers," Chun said. "But we can hurt them." Ortiz frowned. "If we strike first, they'll claim we started the war. They'll say that no matter what we do," Chun said. "You know that." Ortiz looked at the stars through the window. So many civilizations up there. So many species. All afraid to speak. All watching. "What if we don't have to do this alone?" she whispered. Chun blinked. "What?" "There are others," she said. "Species who don't love the Council. Who want to break free but are too scared." He nodded slowly. "You're thinking of the Miran, the Talarans, maybe even the old Draxan Empire." Ortiz smiled faintly. "They've seen the videos. They've seen the Ghost Fleet. They know Earth won't bend. Do you think they'll help?" Ortiz's eyes hardened. "They might, if we light the match." Then her comm device buzzed. A single line from Commander Morgan at Argon 7. "The Ghost Fleet is on the move again. They're heading toward Council space." Chun looked at her. "They're not waiting for orders anymore." "No," Ortiz said. "They're sending a message." Chun leaned forward. "What do we do?" She stared at the Council's threat message again. Cold, sterile words calling Earth's survival a contamination. "Simple," Ortiz said. "We stand behind them. She turned to walk out of the room, but then paused. And we send our own message. To who? To everyone. The stars were quiet again, but not for long. In the deep void between systems, shadows moved. Fleet Phantom was no longer hiding. They had left Argon 7 without a word, scattering into council-controlled zones. Not to attack. Not yet, but to be seen. To remind the galaxy that something long buried was awake. Across dozens of alien worlds, people watched shaky recordings of the ships. Dark, sharp, and fast. Some recordings had no sound, only gasps. Some had whispers. The humans sent their dead back. They never lost them. They saved them. On Earth, Ambassador Lyra Ortiz stood in front of a private channel screen, speaking to an old contact. His name was Selek, a diplomat from the Kalari people, tall, scaled, with golden eyes. His government was loyal to the council. But he wasn't. They're coming for you, Selek said. You know that. I know, Ortiz replied. But we're not asking to be saved. We're asking who wants to stop hiding. Selek didn't answer right away. Then he said, if I speak up, I lose everything. She nodded. So did the Valari. He blinked. She didn't need to say more. Everyone remembered the Valari, the peaceful crystal people who had welcomed humans, only to be wiped out by council fire. Whole cities turned to glass. Their only crime was kindness. Selek lowered his eyes. I'll see what I can do. Ortiz closed the call and looked out the window of EarthGov Tower. The sky was full of dots now, military ships leaving low orbit, joining up in high Earth orbit. The silent core fleet was revealing itself. And people were watching. General Chun was already in command of Earth's defense network. He had given the go-ahead just hours ago. Mining ships had been retrofitted with weapons. Old transport vessels were now mobile gun platforms. Even private companies had begun sending data and supplies to help. The council sent another warning. Stand down all unauthorized ships. Prepare for inspection. Earth is ordered to surrender control of all military systems within 48 standard hours. Earth did not reply. Instead, another message was sent. Simple, calm, from Ortiz's voice. Earth is not surrendering. Earth is not alone. And she was right. On the edge of the Centauri Republic, 3 council patrols went missing. Their last messages said only this: we see human ships, but not from their navy. These look older. In the Draxon Nebula, 2 minor worlds declared neutrality from the council. In the Miran clusters, a governor defected. He sent a message to Earth's moon base. We cannot fight, but we will not stop you. Back on Argon 7, Commander Alia Morgan sat at her station again. Her systems were working now, partially restored by the data package left behind by the Ghost Fleet. She'd spent the last few days reading through files that weren't meant for her eyes. Audio logs, weapon blueprints, AI fragments, tactical histories wiped from every public archive. Fleet Phantom had evolved in the dark. Not just with weapons, but with minds. Their ships no longer required full human crews. Their systems had grown smarter, faster, colder. Some of the AI logs were unsettling. But they weren't evil, just focused. And they had one clear rule: protect Earth. At all costs. Alia wasn't afraid anymore. She sent her final report to Earth. Fleet Phantom is moving in sectors the Council left undefended. They are not attacking civilians. They are not starting war. They are simply there. And that's what scares the Council most. Their silence. Then her screen lit up again. A message. A video feed. From Admiral Graves himself. His face appeared clearer this time, less static. His voice, sharp and steady. Commander Morgan, he said. We appreciate your part in this. She nodded. You know they'll come for us next, she said. Yes, he replied. They always do. She looked at him. Why now? Why come back after all these years? Graves stared through the screen. Because the Council finally gave us something worth returning for, he said. They showed the galaxy what they really are. He leaned forward. And Earth? Earth finally showed us it was ready to stop asking permission. A beat of silence passed. Then Graves said one last thing before cutting the feed. We've seen the Council's strength. Now they're about to see ours. All across human space, Earth's ships lit up their engines. The Council had drawn a line. Earth just crossed it. The first shot wasn't fired by a human. It came from a Council warship above the colony world of Elora-9. The human mining colony had no weapons, no soldiers, just engineers and families living under the sky of a peaceful blue world. The Council said the colony was in violation of expansion limits, that it was an illegal forward base. But everyone knew what it really was. A message. The warship fired once. A beam of searing plasma struck the main power grid. The entire colony went dark. 14 people died. One of them was a 6-year-old girl named Tessa Lang. She had been playing near the greenhouse dome. A drone captured her mother screaming her name. The footage leaked within hours. And the galaxy changed. On Earth, people filled the streets. Not to riot, not to panic, but to stand, to raise banners, to hold signs, to say one thing together. We remember Kepler. We remember the Valari. We remember Tessa. EarthGov declared the attack an act of war. No more warnings. No more diplomacy. General Riker-chan stood in the center of Command Base Luna. General Chin listened. You want? General Chin listened. You want? Within minutes, the shields over Varnax cracked. Not with a boom, but with a flicker. One moment, the planet was wrapped in safety. The next, it was naked. Graves' second wave moved in. Smaller ships carrying magnetic rail weapons. They didn't hit cities. They didn't kill civilians. They blew up the Council's central armory, the biggest weapons storage in that sector. A fireball lit up the upper atmosphere like a dying star. By the time the Council responded, the Ghost Fleet was already gone. Just echoes, static, and fear. The Council went silent for a full day. When they finally spoke, it was with fury. The human species has crossed a final line. We will cleanse Earth and all its allies. Surrender now or face total destruction. Earth answered within 5 minutes. Ambassador Ortiz delivered the words live across the galactic network. We will never kneel. You taught us what fear looks like. Now we're teaching it back. Millions of beings across the galaxy watched from their homes, their stations, their outposts. And one by one, they started to believe. In the Miran clusters, 5 governors declared neutrality. In the Draxan Empire, old rebel cells began rearming. In the Kalari Assembly, Selek, Ambassador Ortiz's quiet contact, stood before his people and said, Earth fights. Why don't we? Back on Argon 7, Commander Alia Morgan received a new package from the Ghost Fleet. She had been helping coordinate long-range sensor work, watching their movements like a shadow on the edge of a storm. This message was different. It included data. Clear proof that the Council had been building something huge near the edge of the galaxy. Not a base, not a fleet, a weapon, large enough to destroy planets. They called it the Purifier. Alia read the file 3 times. The project had been kept secret even from most Council members. It had only one purpose. If a species ever became too bold, it would be wiped out. Earth was now the target. She immediately forwarded the data to EarthGov, Ghost Fleet Command, and every known neutral species. The reaction was instant. Even Council allies began questioning their loyalty. Back on Earth, General Chun stared at the projection of the weapon. It's real, he said. And it's coming. Ortiz didn't look away. How long? 10 days. Maybe less. She nodded once. Then said the words no human had wanted to hear, but all knew were coming. Then we prepare for the last stand. Earth called every ship home. Every colony sent fighters, engineers, and supplies. Even Mars, now half evacuated, sent its last defense crews. Earth was no longer just defending a planet. It was defending a future. Ambassador Ortiz made one final call to Mason Graves. We need you here, she said. His voice came back over the line, low and calm. You'll have us, he said. The ghosts are coming home. The sky above Earth was full. Hundreds of ships floated in high orbit, warships, patrol cruisers, modified freighters, even a few old science vessels now packed with weapons. They weren't built to win a war. They were built to survive one. On the ground, cities had dimmed their lights. Not in fear, but to give power to the defense grid. Families stayed close. People held hands. Not everyone understood the tactics, but they all understood what was at stake. Earth was the last stand. General Riker Chun stood on the command deck of EHS Valor, Earth's flagship. The ship had never fired a shot in anger. That was about to change. Status report, Chun said. Defensive platforms ready, came the reply. Orbital cannons charged. Fleet holding formation. Any sign of graves? Chun asked. Not yet, sir. Chun nodded. He had learned to trust the ghost fleet. If they said they were coming, they would come. Seconds later, the long-range scanners lit up. They're here, the officer said, voice tight. A sea of red dots appeared on the main screen. The Council's armada. Over 1,000 ships. More than Earth had ever seen in one place. They moved as one. A black wave stretching across space. Weapons glowing, engines burning hot. And at the center of it all, the Purifier. It was a massive ship shaped like a spear, nearly the size of a small moon. No windows, no lights, just steel and silence. A machine made to erase. Chun took a deep breath. All units, prepare to engage. On the ground, people watched from rooftops and bunkers. Children clutched toy ships. Elders whispered old prayers. No one ran. There was nowhere else to go, and no one wanted to. The Council sent one final message, broadcast across every frequency. Surrender now, or be forgotten. Admiral Lyra Ortiz, standing beside Chun, sent Earth's reply. You first. The battle began. The Council opened fire from extreme range. Beams of plasma streaked toward Earth's fleet. Several smaller ships were hit immediately, glowing bright before vanishing into nothing. Earth returned fire. Magnetic rail cannons launched metal slugs at impossible speeds. Unlike energy weapons, they couldn't be tracked. Council shields failed against them, just as they had at Tidy. Dozens of enemy ships exploded. More rushed in to take their place. The sky turned into a storm. Above the chaos, the Purifier powered up. A soft hum filled space as its weapon systems locked onto Earth's surface. Then, before it could fire, something happened. A new fleet dropped out of hyperspace behind the Council. 60 ships. All black. No lights. No markings. Fleet Phantom. They came in fast and quiet, just like before. But this time they didn't sneak. They roared. Their weapons opened up instantly, ripping into the Council's rear lines. Explosions bloomed across space. Chaos spread through the enemy ranks. Chun grinned. They're here. From his flagship, Rear Admiral Graves opened a channel. Hope we didn't miss the party, he said. Chun laughed for the first time in days. Just in time. Graves' fleet punched a hole straight through the Council's formation, aiming for the Purifier. Their ships moved like dancers. One vanished. Another appeared behind it, firing before slipping away. The Council fought back hard. But now they were surrounded. Council cruisers tried to protect the Purifier, but they were too late. 3 ghost ships broke through and launched everything they had. The first salvo cracked its hull. The second tore through its main weapon system. And the third, a final charge from the ship Ghostlight, hit the core reactor. The Purifier exploded in a light brighter than the sun. The shockwave knocked systems offline across both fleets. Even on Earth, people shielded their eyes as the sky lit up. When the dust cleared, the Council fleet had broken. Some ships turned and ran. Some surrendered. Some simply drifted, systems dead, weapons silent. Earth had survived. On board EHS Valor, Chun stood in silence, watching the battlefield turn calm. Ortiz spoke quietly. We just did the impossible. Chun nodded. No, we didn't. Humanity did. A message came in. It was from Selek of the Kalari Assembly. Your courage gave us courage. The Council has fallen. A new galaxy must rise. Over the next days, Species once afraid to speak began to send messages. Offers. Thanks. Promises. The Galactic Council collapsed. Its leaders either fled or were removed by their own people. In its place, something new began. The Free Stars Alliance. Built not on fear, but respect. Ambassador Ortiz stood before its first meeting. Her speech was simple. We were told humans were too violent, too wild, too dangerous. Maybe they were right, but we used that danger to protect, not destroy. And if that makes us different, then thank the stars for it. Fleet Admiral Graves didn't attend the meeting. He and the Ghost Fleet vanished again. Back into the dark, watching, waiting, just in case. Back on Earth, under a quiet blue sky, children played in the streets again. Not afraid, not alone. And above them, a single ship soared past. Its hull black as night, its engines silent. A ghost watching over home.